welcome back to the ChampCast. I am here with the queen motherfucking bee of the NPC and the IFBB, everyone's favorite promoter, one of the baddest women in the game, Dillard. Thank you very much.
Hey, what's up, man?
So, the first thing I wanted to ask you is just because you see how involved you are with the NPC and the IFBB. My question,
Pro, IFBB
that's right,
Pro,
and IFBB Pro judge as well as promoter of the best show in Texas.
Texas.
Best show, my apologies.
The world.
In the world, thank you very much.
The world, thank you.
What in the world even, because when people see women compete in women's physique, the first question is, what made you even want to do that? Out of all things. With guys, I mean, we look up to like, I guess, superheroes and stuff like that, and so guys just from a young age want to look like that. What made you want to compete in something like women's physique?
You mean from the get-go? Or just me personally?
You personally.
Oh. Well, let's see. It's a long story. I've told this story many a times. I was about 30 years old. I had my first home built by myself, not married. I was divorced when I was here in Texas. I had my home built, and before I had my home built, I was an avid aerobic girl. I mean, I stayed in the gym after work like 2-3 hours and pretty slim. But when I had my home built, it was very stressful. And when I was entertaining and cooking, and I blew up, but I didn't realize it. And I would unbutton my pants at my desk. So what happened was, I will never, ever forget this. I used to valet my car downtown Fort Worth. And one of the valet guys was like, "Damn, Dre, your ass is getting huge." Just like that. And I was like, because I put my briefcase in the back, right? He goes, "Damn, Dre, your ass is getting huge." And I was like, oh my God. I was on I-20 like this, pedal to the metal trying to get home. And I stripped down naked. I was fat as fuck. But I didn't realize it.
You didn't tell.
I swear, I didn't fucking realize it. So the next day at Bally's, I hired a personal trainer. And we started working out, and he put me on an eating plan, and I got disciplined. And hey, it was just like, hey, let's do a show, because this is the bodybuilding mecca. You know what I'm saying? Texas is the bodybuilding mecca, especially the DFW area. And at that time, back in the 90s, my trainer introduced me to Herman Still, who, rest his soul, he introduced me to bodybuilding. And he is the reason why I feel that I'm an amazing trainer. I learned everything from that man. And that's it.
Shit, I didn't know that. I'm glad I finally found that out. So, with how involved you are with the NPC and IFBB, in that they just made you an IFBB Pro judge, which, great choice. Thank you very much. Hey, here's a good idea. Hire her to do the damn commentary for the Arnold. That last dude was terrible. Don't do that shit again. Hire her. Me and her will do it. 100%. Just fly us out. We'll have fun with it. We'll get a little wine drunk and we'll have fun with it.
Who was it?
I don't know. It was terrible. Did you not see that guy? Like during bikini, he was like, "Oh, well, she looks happy. She seems to be a happy person. She looks happy."
I didn't see that.
It's like, have 3 facts about each pro, please. Just like 3 little things. It was terrible.
I didn't see that.
That was annoying. Well, you saw the issues with the camera angles and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to see their feet.
But I think that was that like the first time they did that?
No, this is like the 3rd, 4th. I mean, it was the same way at Olympia. I think they just hire the people that they use for pageants, like Miss America, Miss USA, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that's why it gets filmed
the
that
best.
Exactly, because they just film it like a pageant.
I think they'll get it right though.
But when we've seen this gigantic surge in the past 10 years in the IFBB and NPC, where there's more shows than ever, there's more pro shows than ever, more pros than ever. And a lot of it has to do with the fact of the inclusion of men's physique and bikini. And now 2 years ago now, we added classic physique. My question is, do you think we're entering a new golden age where there's so much talent coming into the sport, and there's so many divisions, and you're seeing so many different looks now versus just the mass we were seeing in the 90s, that you're actually seeing different physiques and stuff like that? Is this going to be an era that in 20, 30 years people are going to look back as the changing point?
Oh, heck yeah, because this is just me, okay? I think it's all about looking healthy.
Yes.
I'm all
100%.
about mainstream. So I would love to have someone who I can take to, like yourself, take someone, take them to CBS or Bravo for a reality show, or for Paramount or something like that, other than someone who has freaky muscle that is not attainable to the masses.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, is that we saw, and this is one of my main questions for you, is that around in the 90s, we saw that gigantic turn we went from Lee Haney to Dorian Yates. My question, if Dorian had never shown up...
You know your history, don't you?
I love this stuff. I mean, nobody talks about Steve Reeves, who's the real godfather of bodybuilding, thank you very much. Nobody talks about him.
What about them quads, Frank Zane?
Frank, that's what I think. Here's the thing.
I'm a quad person.
And here's the thing,
dominant.
I
love quads.
Especially with the classic division, I think that's what they should be going for. We're going for these guys that they have these gigantic legs now, but they got this smaller upper body that looks disproportionate. Back in the day, sure, it was slightly different, but nobody can tell me Arnold's legs didn't fit his frame. Sure, he was a freak up top, but they matched. It didn't seem crazy. It seemed normal. Same thing with Frank Zane. Same thing with Serge Nubret. Same thing with Franco Columbu. Was a little bit bigger, but it wasn't massive. And that's where my issue comes in with the classic, because I originally thought it was going to be like mid to late 70s, early 80s look, like the Lee Labradas, Arnold and all them. And it's not. It's pushed more towards the late 80s, early 90s. But if Dorian had never shown up, do you think we would, the actual open bodybuilding division will be this freaky mass monster that we have now?
Don't ask me that question.
Well, it's something that I honestly truly wonder, because if, say, Lee Haney competed another 2 or 3 years, and then someone who looked more along the line of Haney's classic physique showed up and took it from him, I don't know if we would be in a different spot, or if this is just the natural progression of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then we want that freaky look, because Lee Haney, you look at him and you're like, fuck, he looked beautiful. And you look at Phil Heath and Big Ramy, and all you think now, you don't say they look beautiful, you say, wow, he's big. That's it. And it's just...
Sometimes big is not best, I think it's great for the Hulk look and stuff like that, but back to your question, I can say this same thing about bodybuilding, because I started out as a woman's bodybuilder, and when Kim Shavesky came on the scene, I mean, she took it to a whole nother level, just like Dorian, a whole nother level. Bigger was better, and for me, my body just would not get big. Some people just, my DNA just couldn't do it. So I was never, I couldn't compete on that level. Dorian set the standard for men's bodybuilding, and
it hasn't changed since.
When Ronnie Coleman came out on the deal, that was a wrap.
That was it, yeah.
That was it.
The closest thing we've seen to a smaller size was Dexter.
I don't think anyone is going to be able to be like Ronnie Coleman. And I'm not saying that because he's from Arlington, where we are.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I mean, it wasn't, he had like a total package. He had the big, full muscle bellies that they were looking for. He was great to look at. He had great skin. I'm all about that too. You can't be bumpy and have grainy skin and look like an orange peel. He had smooth skin. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny, the skin thing. I think I know who you were talking about. I don't like it either, but we're gonna leave that name out of the conversation.
I'm very I'm into head to toe. I think Phil has great skin.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You look at someone who is on the top, Breon. When I saw him on my screen at home watching the Arnold, not only could the man pose,
God damn he can.
But he had great skin, and you could see the passion in every move. You have to be that way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You have to have the passion. You just can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's what
you have to flow with your music. You have to feel it. The passion has to be right here in your freaking soul.
And that's where I think classic is shining, because men's bodybuilding, they hardly even care. You hear Dexter Jackson talk about he doesn't even practice, but you look at guys like Breon, Terrence Ruffin,
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Same thing.
Bumstead's fantastic
Same
too,
thing.
and Bumstead freestyles most of the stuff, which is incredible.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's you don't see that anymore.
There are a lot of guys who freestyle.
I remember.
I don't know how they
I
do
follow
it.
this page on Instagram that he compares people, and he compared. I think there were 7 bodybuilders at the Arnold who tried to hit the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger 3/4 turn back double bicep. None of them hit it right.
You
Not
can't
even
mess with
close.
Arnold.
Exactly. But I mean, it's simple. It's just you look at the pose and you break down how his body is moving, where the angles are coming at, and they weren't able to do it just because it seemed like they weren't even practicing. But the next thing is, besides open bodybuilding, which of course we see that there's a ton of issues with now, that's why men's physique and classic were created, were to combat those issues. When we look at the women's divisions, which the women's division back in the day was more of the women's physique look that we see now. But now we also have figure and we have bikini, which are each division, and fitness, which I'm honestly curious, because this is one of my bits of history I don't know about. How the hell did fitness come to pass in that they are so much different than every other division in the way they do their routines? I don't even know how fitness came about.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of gymnasts back then. You know, a lot of girls who were in gymnastics, and it was another avenue for women to show their technique. You know, so when you're posing, even now there's some physique girls who have a gymnastic background. They put that into their routine. It's really weird how things started. You know, you had the women's bodybuilding, and then when you have the routines involved, and you bring in fitness, and then you bring in figure from that. You know, it's like an in between. And here we go again with mainstream. And I always talk about mainstream. You know, a lot of women who were bodybuilders were upset because figure was brought on the scene. Because they were a little toned down, and they had the Corey Everson look, you know, but they were a little smaller. So, with that, we have bikini.
Which everybody was once again mad that came about.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand that, because at the end of the day, that's more money for everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's more promotion, that's more people competing in the NPC, which is always better for the IFBB.
Because everyone, here we go back again. Everyone's DNA is not developed to be a massive bodybuilder. You might be in between, or you might be a little softer and curvier. So let's do something for everyone.
Exactly.
So we can have different divisions for all the DNAs.
See, and that's the big thing, is that the one division where we've seen a gigantic drop off is women's bodybuilding. In that, what are there, 4 shows that include women's bodybuilding?
Is it 4?
I think it's 4.
It was 2.
But I mean, it's crazy because
Wings of Strength, bless them, because they are hardcore.
Oh yeah.
And I have to give props to them, because, you know, that's where I started, you know. When I was doing bodybuilding, personally, women's physique, that's what we look like. Maybe a tad bit bigger. But it just took off to a point where, and I can only speak for me, where it's a lot. It's just a lot.
It is. And you look at women's bodybuilding, it's just like,
it's not mainstream.
Exactly.
And I'm talking me, I'm mainstream. It's just not mainstream.
And with women's physique, like, you look at Shanique and you're like, fuck, she looks beautiful. But you look at some of those women's bodybuilders and you're like, why does she look like Michael Hearn? I don't understand. And I understand why it's died down, but I hate that it does.
I think they took it to a level, and Kim Shavesky, I'll bring her name up again, because she took it to a whole nother level where it was not attainable for most women.
Yeah.
And some people might hate me for saying that, but I was in it. And I knew that I could never be that big.
Yeah.
And I was so happy when they came with the women's physique, because I was like, wow, that's me.
Well,
I can't do figure because I'm too big, but women's physique, I can do that.
Yeah. And see, that's an interesting, I don't know if you ever saw, I had an argument with Sergio Olivier Jr. on Instagram, where he was trashing classic physique guys or bodybuilders switching to classic physique because we just saw Regan Grimes and Cody Montgomery switch over, and he was absolutely trashing them. And I honestly asked him,
What was he
like,
saying?
he was just saying that it's pathetic that they need to stop quitting bodybuilding, and it's like, well, no, classic physique is still bodybuilding. And my argument with him was that he was sitting there saying, oh, I'm trying to turn the sport back into what it used to look like. It's like who? Lee Haney? Because you don't look anything like him.
Right.
You're a mass monster.
Right.
It's like it's beyond the turning point. There's no switching back. That's why this division was made.
Yeah, it's so sad. But don't get it twisted. Bodybuilding is the foundation.
Oh, 100%.
And I need you to keep that here. Bodybuilding is the foundation of what we're doing.
Yes, 100%.
Now, where it has evolved is different. It's shown that there are other people out there that want to be on stage, but they can't look like that.
Exactly.
So we have developed different divisions for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You got bikini. You see a bikini girl, you might see her in Miami or Dominican Republic on the beach, Cancun, walking around. You got a little bit of muscle, shoulders, and you look cute, nice butt. But then you got figure, you got a little bit more muscle, and we keep going on and on and on.
Exactly.
So if you want to be an extreme female bodybuilder, we got that.
Mm-hmm.
Want to tone it down, women's physique. You want to tone it down, figure, and so forth.
Exactly.
So I mean, I'm happy where we are right now.
100% yes.
Because if we just stuck with bodybuilding, a lot of us wouldn't be there.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, I love the sport and I love men's physique and classic, but if I wanted to be an open bodybuilder, I'd have to be 340 pounds in the offseason.
Hell yeah.
And I would have to compete probably around 300 to 290. And that'd be undersizing because Ronnie is 3 inches shorter than me. He's 5'11", and he was stepping on stage around 300. So there's no way I could do it. At least I would die before trying to
because
get
your
that.
body is not made for that.
No, not at all.
You got the height, and it's just your body's not made for that.
Yeah. So when we look at the Texas market, because this is a big thing I want to talk to you about, because like you said earlier, this is the biggest, this in California are the meccas for bodybuilding, plain and simple. Some people could say where Bev's gym in New York is, where it's close to being that, but that's one small area. The entire state of Texas, I think we have the most NPC shows out of anybody. Besides, California may be the number one,
and then,
number two.
And Florida coming in.
And then Florida.
Yeah.
But we are a drastic leap above Florida.
Absolutely.
And so my thing is that, why the hell do we only have 2 pro shows? We have Europa and we have CLC. And that's insane to me. We don't have a national show. How does New Jersey have a national show? And I know Texas, Miami Nationals used to be in Texas, but why don't we have one now? We are the biggest NPC market, and we have some of the best and toughest competitors out of this state. That's just crazy to me.
Now that I can't answer.
I know.
I don't know.
It's so weird, but it's great seeing someone like you who's actually bringing in pro shows. You went from having men's physique last year to now men's physique and
Masters, and then women's physique. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the next logical step, I'm guessing, is either classic or bikini for you for ongoing.
Now check it.
Okay.
Check this out.
Oh God.
Now, when I had men's physique, everyone was always hitting me, oh, when are you going to do women's physique? Because that's me, that's how I get my pro card. And I was like, you know what? If I do another division, it's going to be bikini, IFBB Pro. Lies!
That's what I said too.
Lies! Oh, I'm having women's physique, IFBB Pro. So if I do it, if I do another one, which it'll be bikini.
Yeah, I figured.
Straight up.
And it's interesting because I saw there were some people who were confused why you did men's physique, and I was like, well, it makes sense. The biggest stars in the sport are in men's physique and bikini.
Because you guys are, well, not anymore, because you're moving up, right? You're doing classic now, next?
We'll see. I'm probably.
What are you doing? Let's talk about you for a second.
I'm probably going to do both. I
love
we'll
that.
see. It all depends.
I love both,
As long as I can fit my legs into board shorts, I might as well still do it. I mean, it all
Because when
makes
they
sense.
start to get real tight and stuff, it's not cute.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I saw someone at the Arnold. I was like, I'm not going to mention any names, but I was like, dang, wow, he got hips like I want to have. I want those hips, and they were tight. This dude need to be doing classic. They were just huge, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Men's physique is attainable to the masses. Sleek, handsome, and not to say that classic and everybody's not handsome, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying it's attainable to most people who go to the gym. You see a guy in the gym like, shit dude, you should compete. And it looks normally like classic. You're not gonna see, shit, you should compete in bodybuilding. Hell no.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you years
Exactly.
to get that size.
Well, and that's
do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Or would you like to be healthy and compete?
And I know a lot of people
For the
who bash
masses.
men's physique. I have friends who bash men's physique, but it's
Why?
It's because of the board shorts. That's the only reason. Why is that they
What's
cover
wrong
up?
with the board shorts?
It's that they cover up the quads. That's the only thing that I've seen people have a problem with it. And which, in a sense, it is odd. Like I wish it was. Have you seen the WBBFF muscle models where they wear
have a shorter
It's
ones.
shorter. It's a little bit longer than the classic, but it's a little bit looser material. I think that would be a smart move if they decided to ever transition to that. But at the end of the day, I understand the necessity for
Possibly,
it.
maybe you should talk to JM. He'll be at my show. Talk to him.
I'll go and harass the hell out of him. About
Because
it.
you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, people get busy.
Yeah.
And they might not see certain things, and that might be
Exactly.
something that might be attainable.
Yeah, but my big thing with that is that for the people who bash it, this is where the fitness models that were on magazine covers that weren't able to compete, this is where they came
Right.
in. This is why they made that division for guys that were constantly on men's fitness, who were constantly on men's fitness, men's health and stuff like that.
Right.
These are the guys that needed to compete because they were superstars in the fitness industry and people wanted to see them.
So, who were the ones who stood out? I'm not testing you, but I am. But
In the
who do
beginning?
you think when that whole men's physique came out, and you go into the grocery store, you go into your Albertsons and your Kroger, and you check out and you see the men's health and all that kind of stuff. And muscle and fitness, of course. Who do you see?
The top two I can think of that right before men's physique happened, one would be Ryan Terry, and then the second would be the gentleman who he died. I don't want to mess his name up. I think it was Mike something. No. Greg Plitt. Greg Plitt, I think, was a big one that he was constantly on magazine covers and he had that men's physique look back in the day. Jeff Seed was on a lot back in the day.
Jason Poston.
And Poston. Poston was very.
He's the
huge.
main one that I would bring up. You know, there's a certain look that a guy that's going to the gym, get off work at 5 o'clock and get to the gym at 6 o'clock, and that's attainable. To be a bodybuilder and trying to be on the front cover of a magazine. See, when I was coming up, being in a magazine was all we had.
Yeah.
We didn't have all this internet shit.
Yeah, that no one had the online sponsorships, anything
Hell
like that.
freaking no.
You had to go and actually work. You didn't just get post pictures.
If you were like, oh my God, I've had a few articles in magazines. My picture was that big. That big. My whole body. From head to freaking toe. Get my boots. Get my damn boots. And my picture was that big. But that was like the it, you know. Now it's like you got spreads, and I'd be a millionaire right now if I was 20 with all this technology. Y'all better step up to the plate. There's so much that you can do right now.
Oh yeah.
In my era and my generation, man, stuff that's going on right now, you click on this phone, I want to order a pizza right now. Boom,
Yeah.
that fucker's coming downstairs.
We have all
Let's
the
eat.
information in the world in our
Oh
pocket.
my God, the WWW.
All right, so the main thing,
we're
of course,
on?
why we're here to talk about everything is CLC, which is
Hey, city limits in this bitch. Who's gonna win the key to the city? Are you? I got the keys. I got the keys.
I didn't even notice the necklace.
Yes.
Oh, and the lock,
I've
and the
changed
lock
it.
on the ears.
I've changed it. Yeah, I've changed it. No, but I'm not giving this kind out. My sponsors are giving. We're upgrading this year. Every year we're upgrading the keys for the women and the men. What do you think men like for overall gifts? Because I have not told my sponsors what I want them to buy for the men. They're gonna get the sword. You know, that's obsolete.
If we're
I mean,
gonna
that's
say-
what it is. And they're gonna get the regular key.
If you want to do something in the jewelry realm, a watch.
Yes.
A watch.
And we
That's your
did
best
Invicta
option.
last year. Is
Because
Invicta
watches
good?
are beautiful.
Invicta. Or what was the other one? G-Shock?
I think so. Swole Clocks are getting pretty big right
Swole?
now. Yeah.
Somebody.
I don't like the name, but it's a nice watch.
Somebody told me that the things were kind of popping off.
I have no idea. That's just in my personal opinion. I'd be like, oh shit.
Last year we did Shock and we did Invicta. So, I guess we'll go with Invicta.
Yeah.
Invicta sponsored Invicta. I don't know. I'll get my guy or whatever to pick him up. I didn't pick him up last year.
So, of course, we're going to be having one, like I said earlier, that you have one of the only pro shows in Texas that we're going to be having men's physique, men's masters physique, and then we're going to be having women's physique there as well, which is absolutely awesome because, I don't know, does Europe even have women's physique?
I don't even know.
I think they had fitness this past year, didn't they?
I don't know. I didn't go last year. I don't know. I was working.
And then, of course, we're having a bunch of NPC and a bunch of NPC divisions, and the big thing about
shoes,
thank you, I know, right? Those are awesome. Look at the icy blue bottom.
Damn!
Yeah,
what
it's hot as hell.
Do I have that? No.
There you go. If y'all didn't notice. So the one thing that I've had a bunch of people, because I know a bunch of people doing your show already, and they've been texting me.
They haven't signed up yet. I swear. Let's talk about that shit. I have more IFBB signing contracts than NPC. And I'm thinking because the Ronnie Coleman is right before mine, the weekend before mine.
I don't know if it's as much as that as it is people just don't
They're
wait
scared?
until the
What
last
the
minute.
fuck?
Well, it's that I think a lot of people,
We need to talk about that.
especially in the NPC, there's a scared thing is that they get to like 3 or 4 weeks out, think they can't do it, and the problem is we have such a cluster. Right
That's
there, we
the
got
problem.
the Ronnie right before your show. We have the Phil Heath right after, so they're like, well, shit, I need another 2 or 3 weeks. I'll just go to the Phil or yada yada. But I know a bunch of people who are going to be doing your show because of how well you take care of everybody that comes to your show. Because nobody else, you're like, here's metal, here's the thing, go away. But you make everybody feel like they are loved, they want to be there. Your overalls, they're like, holy shit, I'm leaving with a bunch of stuff. I'm actually
And
like,
everyone's copying off of me. I hate it. No, I hate it. First of all, I'm not a creative person. So, I'm an entertainer. I love to take care of people, and I want people to feel good. So, when my judges fly in, or they drive in.
Are you going to be having Gary this year again?
Absolutely.
Love him.
Gary Udit is my mentor. My foundation comes from my parents because I'm an entertainer. But in this industry, Gary Udit is my
He's a genius.
mentor.
He's a genius. He's one of the best judges out there.
We need a new word for genius. That man has developed a lot in me, and he challenges me. He'll say something, and I'm like, dang it, I should have thought of that, but I didn't.
Yeah. The best.
You give me a task, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we have.
The best judges I've seen are Gary, Sandy, and Steve. And Gary is. Honestly, I mean, he did flatter me. He complimented me a little bit last year, which I was like,
I know that move you did or whatever when you. I saw that. Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, we before CLC last year, where I guest posed. Oh, I'm guest posing this one, by the way.
Hey,
I didn't know.
for a second time.
For a second time.
Yeah,
second year in a row.
Let's put that out there.
It's me by myself, so come see it. It's gonna be kind of awesome. But
I can't wait.
We did basically a posing clinic beforehand where I was learning to pose. Me and Petya both did it. And
what the judges are looking for.
Yeah, what the judges were looking for. So Gary brought me up, and he tried. I represented Classic, and he tried everything he could to mess me up on how I was posing, and he couldn't correct me because I was doing everything right.
You were doing everything.
And he just complimented the hell out of me afterwards, and it made me feel
cheers.
Cheers. It made me feel amazing. Love you, Gary. You're awesome. I'm gonna talk to you again this year.
Drink. You have to drink.
Sorry. But the big division that you introduced, and I've seen, I think the Hawaii show did it as well, is True Novice. Because a big problem I saw, there's a division in the NPC called Novice. There's Novice and then there's Open. Open, you qualify for nationals. Novice is supposed to be your first show you show up and you compete at. True Novice is actually going to be your first show, and they're checking this shit, so don't try to sit there and think, oh, I'm just going to go win 4 trophies. No. If it's your first show, you get to compete in True Novice. And I absolutely love that, because there's so many people that they're like, well, I don't know, I'm worried about competing, and I've never done it before, and then they compete against someone who's competed 4 times that's also still competing in Novice and Open just so they can take home 2 trophies. And it makes it bad for them, because they don't get a real look at how they look at people at their level. They don't get a real comparison.
Yeah, it's just like, when I was coming up, when you were novice, you were novice. You couldn't move up until you won. You know what I'm saying? Then you can go to open. You know what I mean? And we're going back to that. We're making it a little harder. It's just like, at one point, without getting into it, there were the powers that be that
You're good. You don't have to say it. It's okay. There's this thing about bodybuilding called politics where you don't want to piss people off. So you got to not talk about some things. It's perfect.
Because, you know why? Because I did have when we were going through it, back in the day a couple of years ago, Dillard did say a few things. I got on Periscope and went off. Oh, I went off. I still have it on my phone. Some of y'all saw it. Some of y'all didn't. But I went off, and it fired back at me because an individual who was high up in the state of Texas went off on me. Because I went off on him. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, sometimes you got to shut the fuck up.
I wish I could tell that to certain pros. That's just
you gotta pick your battles. That's what I was told.
What I think is
by my mentor. You pick your battles.
What I think is hilarious though is just when I see people on Instagram and they start talking a bunch of shit about the IFBB or something like that, and then they go from getting first calls in the last show to getting like third in the next show. It's like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Right.
You can't piss people off. You can't talk shit about the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
That's
don't talk shit. It's just it is what it is. I mean,
like if you want to talk shit to other competitors, that's one thing. That's entertaining. That makes people want to watch a show.
Check this out.
Oh God.
I gotta say this. Maybe I shouldn't.
No, do it, because I know what you're about to say.
No, you don't know, because I don't think you know this situation.
Uh-oh.
Back in 1999.
I was thinking of a recent one. Never mind.
I went to the Texas State, downtown Dallas, and I won. I Miss Texas 1999. Jay Moore, he was bodybuilding. He won Mr. Texas 1999. But there was an individual, I'm not going to mention the name. Oh, he didn't win, and he thought he should win. He should have won, excuse me. He got the second or third place, and we had swords.
Oh, no.
He took the sword, and you might be watching, dude. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You know you did it. He took the sword, and he threw it at the judges.
Oh my God!
How you gonna throw a sword at the judges?
That's a good way to get an assault charge on top of getting kicked out.
It was just like, dude, those type of things you cannot do.
No.
You can hurt someone, even if it was a glass. You know what I'm saying? If you're upset, take that anger, take it out in the gym on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go drink, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
That fool took that damn sword. He was like, fuck this. Woof.
And that's a big thing
Man.
that a lot of people don't acknowledge, even in the NPC. There's this beautiful thing called professionalism.
Thank
even
you.
When you're being in the NPC,
and let's talk about sportsmanship too. Do you know about sportsmanship? You're very young. How old are you, Travis? Tell everybody.
23.
But you seem like your mentality seems, I would give you about 27, 28.
I've got the
Because you are a dungeon dog.
Mm-hmm.
You're part of the family. Mm-hmm. And I would never bring you in if I didn't think that you were intelligent, you had sportsmanship, and you gravitate, people gravitate to you, put it that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted you to be one of my guest posers. You're amazing on the stage. People look at you, and that's how I was. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're going to look at me, damn it, when I'm on stage. So everyone that I pick, you, Brittany, Natasha, they're going to look at you. Mm-hmm. April the 14th. Mm-hmm. Get your tickets. www.citylivingchampionship.com.
And all of this is going to be in the description below. So
get down low. Get down low.
Yeah. But the big thing with professionalism I wanted to talk about, because
Peggy, come here. She's looking, because I keep looking. You gotta come in for 1 second. I swear. Go to my Instagram. You'll see her.
The big thing with professionalism, in that I see a lot of the times in the NPC, is one, if you're in the NPC, don't bump other people's elbows. Make some room. They're gonna tell you to spread out. Don't be a dick. And two, if you don't get the placing you don't expect, do not start doing stupid shit on stage. Don't start going, what the fuck? It's bullshit.
That's
Don't
kiddie
do
shit.
that. You get up there, you smile, you accept your award, you walk off, and then you be upset about it afterwards if you feel you didn't get the place you deserve. You don't act like a jackass on stage, because guess what? Judges remember that shit. They remember that. If you think, oh, they cut you off early on your posing, guess what? You're not Phil Heath. You're not Jeremy Buendia. You're not Breon Ansley. They're not going to let you pose for as long as you want. So if they cut you off early, it's because you went over your time. Do not act like an ass on these stages. It's stupid.
It's embarrassing.
This is a business.
And it's exactly it's a business.
Embarrassing.
And it's very embarrassing. You know, you have your coaches that are there. You have your the judges. You have the organization. You have your family. Your kid. You know, and you want your kid to play little league or whatever, and you have bad sportsmanship. Man, I can't stand that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know, it's bad.
Yeah, and that's just a big thing is that
Play it off. Check this out. My pro debut, I won I got my pro card at Gary Udit's show at the Masters Nationals in 2013, and I won my class and the overall. And the next year, I went and I did my pro debut. I wasn't as conditioned. Let's call a spade a spade. I was not as conditioned. And when I got on stage, there were 7 call-outs. And I got 4th call-out. There were like 40-something women.
wow.
And I got 4th call-out. And I can remember as I'm standing there, my leg was shaking profusely. I could not stop my leg from shaking. I was standing to the side, it was like, and my family said they couldn't see it, but I felt it. It felt like I was going to convulsions, you know, I passed out. But I kept my smile. Was I hurting inside?
Yeah.
Man, that shit hurt.
Oh yeah.
How you go from winning overall, you go against all these other women in the world, and you come in like 17th, even though it's 17th out of 40 something, I want to be top 5.
Yeah. Of course.
Wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough that day. Did it hurt me? Yeah, but I smiled my ass off. I smiled like I was first place.
And see, and that's a big thing I wanted to talk about with your coaching too, because you made a great comment right there. Is that day?
That day.
And for some people who, when they start working with a coach for the first time, and you do a show and you don't get the result you want, here's the thing: your coach is learning you. Every single one of our bodies is different. Every single one of us responds to different carbs in a different way, different proteins in a different way, different fats in a different way, different water intake in a different way. So your coach has to learn you. At the end of the day, I'll be straight up and I tell people, like, if you're thinking of going into nationals and you're getting a new coach, go do an NPC show first so they can figure out how the hell your body works, how the hell you work, how you respond to coaching, how you respond. Because the first thing is for a coach, and I'm guessing this is probably your number one thing, you need someone who's fucking coachable. Because there's some people just do not want to fucking listen to you at all.
And we're going to take it a step further. You need to make sure that you have someone who's not jealous of you either.
That too, 100%.
There are a lot of coaches out here who are living on your coattails, and they're washed up, and they see potential in you, and they might sabotage you. You got to look at that. If you don't see it, maybe people in your team might see it. You can't be impatient. You got to make sure that you have the patience to let your coach learn your body. They might miss it on the first 2 shows, and they might nail it on the 3rd show.
And then every show after that.
But if you don't give that coach a chance, it's just like, oh, F you, I'm going to this person. F you, I'm going to this next person. Then you develop a reputation. You're not coachable.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fuck with you because you can't stick with someone to learn your body and let's make it better. I see that all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a big thing too, is that you have to find someone, and especially in a coach, that you like, you can get along with.
You got to get along
that,
with.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, first off, you're like impossible not to like.
But I'm hard though. I'm not.
Tough, yeah.
I'm not easy.
100 repper.
Hey, hashtag that. Right.
But even so, though, you know what you're doing and you're hard, but you get people results that they want.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. It's like when I met Ryan Hinton. The first time I talked to him, I knew I wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
Just because.
Sponsor of the CLC.
Sponsor CLC Women's
Legacy.
Physique. Thank you very much, Team
Yes.
Legacy, Ryan Hinton. You bad
Absolutely.
motherfucker. Hey, Ryan, get your ass back to Texas. I want to put you on.
Right? Ryan is amazing. That man is amazing.
Yeah.
He is coming up. I mean, you know, when I was coming up, Chad Nichols was the man.
Yeah.
And then you had George and you had Honey and then Ryan, you know, I would like to say I want to put myself up there. Ryan surpasses me. You got to stay in your damn lane. I am a promoter. I am a fucking good promoter.
Hell yeah, you are.
You better know that. Sometimes I was thinking that I was a great fucking prep coach. I am, but some people are better at things than you might be.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, you look at someone who, like Ryan.
You
who
reel them in
turned-
and you help them,
Yeah.
you know, and they help you.
For those who don't know, Ryan Hinton, Team Legacy, he turned someone pro at every single national show this past year. Every single national show. But you look at guys like him and Omar Ventura, who are taking over the game for. I mean, Omar is pretty much the king of men's physique right now. Ryan is turning people pro in every single division. Well, Omar's pretty much killing it with everyone in men's physique. I mean, shit, he's got Andre Ferguson.
Why do you think Omar is like up there?
Because he's doing the same thing Ryan is. He's turning people pro back to back, and then he's got two of the top 5 guys in the world: Andre Ferguson, Raymond, Scott Dennis. He's got a ton of other dudes. The list goes on. But when you look at specifically men's physique, he is the coach for men's physique right now. I mean, Ryan's definitely up there, but Omar's been doing it a lot longer than Ryan.
Right.
And so Ryan, I think, is definitely going to surpass him at some point. Because Ryan was
That does
coaching,
take time. You have to build up. You have to be patient.
yeah, before the Colorado Pro, Ryan was coaching Shirak Shabazz, who's actually going to be competing at your
Who's
show.
coming to my show.
Thank you,
I'm
firefighter.
so
Thank
stacked
you,
in the
respect,
CLC with
motherfucker.
these keys. I know. I'm
yeah.
so excited.
I'm excited
oh my God. Oh, you forgot. And Andre Ferguson's going to be there too.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, but he's not competing. I'm glad he's not competing.
He's going to be sitting there cheering for Raymond in the
Right.
audience. That's what
I
Andre's
want
going
him
to
to
be
sit
doing.
up front and chill the fuck out with a drink and chill backstage and giving pointers, but I didn't want him competing.
Yeah, and I'm just going to annoy the shit out of him, asking him questions.
Absorb all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Get it. Absolutely.
So, Men's Visions, we're going to have the list for those coming out hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Same thing, I'm guessing, with women's physique, because usually they announce
What
it
I'm going to
the
do,
week
I'm going to
before.
call the head office next week because I wanted the Arnold to surpass like a couple of weeks. And then, because I didn't, because people are still like, oh my God, because there are a couple of shows. The Salt Lake City is this weekend?
I didn't know that.
Me either. Somebody asked
I thought there was like a
Salt Lake City.
California show this weekend. There's a
What the
California
hell?
show like
But
every other weekend.
The week of my show it's the CLC, it's the Orlando Europa,
yeah.
and there's a California show.
But more people are going to be attracted to your show because your show pays out in men's
It
physique
pays
than
out
anybody
more.
else.
It's more competition. I mean,
It's tougher competition.
it's
for sure.
tougher. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I treat my competitors fabulously.
Yeah, you
George, he won last year. I'm paying for his hotel. I'm treating him like I'm treating him like a king.
You treat him like he won your show. Exactly. That's how
he
you
is the
treat
king.
people,
That's
yeah.
his name, right? The king,
Yeah.
King George.
King George.
So I'm taking care of him.
Yeah.
Last year it was so emotional for me to see all my sponsors come on stage and just flood him
Oh, yeah,
with
that was
gifts.
so cool.
The
That was
look that
amazing.
he had on his face.
He was like, I need another suitcase to go home.
Exactly. The look he had on his face was amazing. And it's going to be even better this year, even for everybody else, even my NPC. Let's don't forget about my NPC
Oh, yeah.
because the NPC is the foundation. So,
One of my boys, I'll tell you his name after we get done with this, but he's won a bunch of overalls, and I was asking him, I was like, what's making you want to do CLC? And he was like, dude, I want to win a bunch of shit.
exactly. Oh my God. Oh, you're going to get the standard, for the guys, you're going to get the standard sword. NPC we're talking about, you're going to get your sword, you're going to get you're going to get a watch. You're gonna get you're gonna get your key to go around your freaking neck.
Probably a shitload of clothing for our sponsors.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I have so many. You're gonna get bath bombs. You're gonna get stuff for your skin. I mean, there's just so much. I
Yeah.
can't even. The clothes are outrageous.
And that's the big thing. If you're in prep right now, if you're looking at any show, especially if you're in Texas, even if you're not in Texas, let's say you're in Louisiana, Oklahoma, stuff like that, this is like a 2-hour drive for you. CLC is April 14th. Come out and compete. Whether you are a pro men's physique or women's physique or you are in the NPC, there is not a better show that is more dedicated to bodybuilding and not a whole bunch of other shit like an expo. That is strictly you. People are focused on the stage and on you guys. So if you want someone who's going to treat you right, who's going to sit there, show you respect, and you're going to have some of the best judges in the world judging you, this is the show to be.
And I'll take it a step further. And I haven't even announced this yet.
We dropping news, damn it!
So check this out. So it's been a couple of months. So if you won overall, including George, if you won overall 2017, every month one of my sponsors, they've given you a gift, right? I send it to you. My sponsors give it to me and I send it to you guys. So if you guys are coming back next month, if you're coming back, no entry fee. You don't have to pay an entry fee.
That's awesome.
So I haven't even announced that yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We breaking news here.
We breaking news. So that's going to save you $150.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
And that's a lot, right? Because I don't even know. You know what? 2 weeks before the freaking show, if you guys don't sign up, the entry fee is $150. Why are you guys waiting so long?
Yeah,
Why
don't wait.
Maybe you're young. Why do people wait so long to put in their entry fee? Even when they go to a national show, when it's double.
With the amount of people that's competing nowadays, I think versus back in the day when everybody was more dedicated and it was legit, like people who should have been pros never even turned pro. I think it's just there's so many people doing it now that a lot of them don't take it seriously for one, and a lot of them are either doing their first show or there's somebody who's not even trying to compete. They're just so.
True novice, we didn't talk.
We talked about that. We didn't.
No, not in depth though.
What else in depth did we even talk about it?
In depth. True novice. Ever since I've had a show, since 2015, most people, because my show was new, they never done a show, they wanted to do my show. And I embrace that. They have no clue.
Oh, no.
Some of them don't even know what to do.
No.
I get calls all the time. Even last year, Miss Dre. Why y'all call me Miss Dre? I know I'm old. But
It's just people being polite.
Okay. Miss
Your
Dre.
son calls me Mr. Travis.
Because I'm like,
dude, I'm like 10 years older than you.
I make him do
And I love it. He's so
Hell
polite.
yeah. He has to do that. Shit, yeah. You keep that. But my thing is, I want to make people who have never novice. Some people do novice because they've done open, they didn't do well last year. I'm gonna do novice and I'm gonna do open and I'm gonna do masters too.
Yeah.
But they've had maybe 2-3 years. Wanted to make a division where you've never ever stepped on stage. I'm scared as shit. I don't want to look at you like, damn, she got this curve, this indentation. I don't have that.
Yeah.
Because every time you compete, you get tighter and tighter, especially when you stay in that same year. If you do the CLC and then you do the Phil Heath and then you do the Adela and then you do the Battle of Texas, every time you get tighter and tighter within that year.
Yeah.
Now, if you're doing your first show, the CLC, I might not look as good.
Yeah.
I'm intimidated.
There's some people who may have never even, they don't even have a coach. They just have.
They don't have a coach. They don't know if they got a tan. They don't know anything about an NPC card.
Yeah.
You sign up for your novice, true novice. I see it come on my freaking phone on my computer. I'm giving you a phone call the next day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk you through it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it together.
Yeah. And also you make sure they've never competed before. They
Yeah.
check the NPC
Yeah.
records and stuff like that. And yeah, y'all
Don't
can't
try
get
to do
away
no
with that.
slick shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
NPC
That makes it worse for you.
Lets
you know what I'm
lets
saying?
us
Don't do the
know.
slick
I can Google your name.
Right.
And it'll pop up NPC competed, got 12th place in Open last year.
Right.
Yada, yada.
You went to the Nationals.
You're not slick.
And you doing true novice.
Don't try to
do that.
Don't try to do that shit. It's just it's
You already
bad.
know.
Like it's people who just want to walk away with like 4 trophies. They come in 5th place in like every division. It's
Don't
just
do it.
it's
Don't.
just dumb.
It's not cool,
it's
you know.
and a lot of coaches. There's some coaches who are a little bit. I don't want to say dirtier as it's more like it's not really even cheating the system. It's just influxing themselves in that they make their competitors compete in every single division just so they can get a trophy in every single one. So they'd be like, look at my competitor who walked away with 3 trophies. And so someone who's never competed goes, oh shit, I want to win 3 trophies. He must be a great coach.
Right.
Even though it may have been 3 people in their novice class,
Scandalous.
4 people
That's
in their
scandalous.
open, and 4 people in masters who win a
that's
trophy no matter
scandalous.
what.
Why? Why would you do that?
It's just
you
for
gotta
some people
be
to make
honest
money.
because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I might see you, and then I'm gonna see you again, and you say true novice, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not honest. Because at the end of the day, when we have the echelon, I want to look at Mr. Olympia, Miss Olympia, figure, whatever, trustworthy.
Yeah.
But you down here in the foundation, fucking up.
Yeah. 100%.
Your sportsmanship bad. You're lying. You know, don't do that. I remember Phil Heath. I met him. I was pregnant. I met him at the Nationals a few years back. He was playing basketball. He was like, I don't think that I can do this. No, I'm serious. I don't think I ever spoke about this before. He's like, I don't think I can do this. Do you think I can get on stage? And I was like, heck yeah. I was like, you know, you need to gain some weight.
Yeah.
Because he was small. He was a basketball player.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, you need to gain some weight, gain some muscle. I said, but you got a great look. And that's key too. You got to have a good look. You want people to gravitate to you.
Yeah.
And you want to be friendly.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, because people don't
You
realize.
Mr. Olympia, and I can't take a picture with you because you an asshole.
Yeah, your personality shines on the stage.
Yes.
People can tell you when you walk out there, the expression on the face, the way you move.
And he was that way from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at him now. Freaking.
Arrogant as hell.
I saw a meme with him the
Oh,
other
my
day.
God.
Yesterday, matter of fact, he was sitting there at the press conference like this. And the meme was like, you gotta stay focused. And he was like, them green eyes. What color is his eyes? Green, blue, or something.
It's just, I mean, people get to that level and it gets to their head, but
Right.
that's a whole nother.
Yeah, he was
Topic.
like, you know, in a zone. I loved it. He was in a zone, you know.
But anyway, so yeah, CLC April 14th. I gotta say, you'll love the hell out of you.
Waxahachie, Texas. I don't know where you're gonna get a hotel room at though. I'm done with that. I've been talking since 2017
About the show,
October about
yeah.
that damn hotel. and when I put the website up, it went viral, and in 2 days it sold out. And in 4 weeks, in a 20-mile radius, we sold out.
Yeah.
So try Mansfield.
Yeah.
287.
If you're a pro and I like you, just give me a text. I got a spare room.
Right.
I mean, it's gotta be if I like you though.
Right? I know, right? We can do some serious Airbnb runs.
But I love you to death. You've done.
I love you more.
You've done more for me than probably 99.99% of the people I've ever met in my life.
And I will continue
Thank
to
you.
do so.
And that's more reason why I love you. But I'm so glad to be a part of your team. I'm excited as hell for your show. And please, everybody come out. All the links are going to be down below in the description. There's going to be Dre's contact information. I'm going to make sure I put up the sign up page for CLC in the bottom as well as any information for those first timers. I'm going to give you a link to the NPC rules and regulations of what they want per division. So all that down there for you. Come out to CLC. We want to see y'all. We love y'all. And this was ChampCast. Y'all have a good night.